Hey guys, welcome to the Bear's Den. My name is Codename Big Bear, or Stuart if you want to call me by my first name. Today, we're going to be talking about PSVR, and more like a beginner's guide. Quite echoey in here today. Make sure how things are set up, and what games to look at when you first get it, and kind of things to look out for as well. So, before we do that though, usual thing. Hey guys, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. You know the drill, make a comment down below, hit the notification bell, all of that stuff there. Just do that for us. You help us out quite a bit. But anyway, back to the usual thing. So the first thing I want to talk about when it comes to PSVR is the fact that it is a pain in the bum to sort out. So we've had this since Christmas 2019, and we've only really started playing it recently because, well, we'd set it up and then as you're playing, so you're playing Skyrim, for instance, like this, you go la 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 la, pew pew pew, hit my swords everywhere, doing all your things like that. Then all of a sudden, this arm will just fly off over there, and it just stays there. This one's still in your vision, like so. Woo! And this one's all like, yeah, over here. So as you can imagine, absolute pain in the bum. This would happen quite a lot. Some games will be absolutely fine, like the London Heist on VR Worlds, for instance, work perfectly fine. Rick and Morty would be the worst. Skyrim would be dreadful because not only would you have that deal with the arms, sometimes you'll be arms here. I think I explained this in my Iron Man video. Yeah, it would just be really an absolute pain. So my suggestion is, make sure it is fully set up. So you want to make sure that you go into your settings menu on your PlayStation itself and go through every single VR setting there is. Resyncing the headset, resyncing the control pads, resyncing the control wands, or the move controllers, sorry. I want to say wands all the time, probably going to. But you make sure you're doing all of that. And then you want to make sure that your camera lenses are clean, like absolutely 100% clean. Everything that behind you is not giving off too much light, or if any light at all. You want to block out as much light behind you as you can. That was one of the main things I found, that after I cleaned the lenses and put the curtains across my patio doors, and then put the blinds across underneath it, it killed enough light that it wouldn't mess up, well, me playing VR again. So mostly a pain in the bum. But once it's set up, VR is actually really cool and really good fun just in general. So I'm going to tell you a few things that I think, once you get PSVR, first things you should download are. So when I got this VR, I actually set it up before Christmas and I gave it to my girlfriend for her birthday. And I had downloaded tons of stuff onto the PlayStation. I wasn't using the PlayStation at all at this point, so I had no fear of her just going on and finding it. But I downloaded loads of stuff, and I downloaded things like, demos mainly. I downloaded the Last Guardian demo, which is very cool. You use the controller and you use your headset separately, so none of the move controllers. And you can ride that beast around and just kind of get an experience of how that game will work. And actually, it's a really good demo. But the game itself does look a bit ropey. I don't know. You only have the Call of Duty Jackal Assault, where you're flying around in space. You get to use the controller, but you're piloting this spaceship, and you're looking around and just having a really cool time. So that's like kind of main demos. But then you've also got the PlayStation VR demo discs themselves. There's 3 of them on here. They still have a repeat demos here in a Job Simulator. I think it's on every single one. But on here you have things like Super Hot and Rush of Blood. In these games you utilize the move controllers, and Super Hot is probably one of the most absolutely badass games I've ever played in VR, and I've only played the demo. So think about this, you got these red dudes coming at you like, and then you're like, caught it, yeah, pew, catch another gun, you're over here like, pew, and it's just really cool. I'm gonna put this down. And that's just a really cool demo just to kind of get you the idea of how Move would work with PSVR. You have Rush of Blood as well, which is absolutely flipping terrifying. You're in like a little roller coaster cart. You've got 2 guns, you just got to kill these clowns that come around and look at disgusting things, and it's just not good. But there was one demo that, that is on these PlayStation discs as well, but you can also download it separately. It was a demo called Kitchen. I actually had no idea what it was. I just saw VR, downloaded it, and put it on there. Now, when my girlfriend actually got around to playing this first time, that's one of the first things she tried. She thought, like myself, it was probably just a kitchen simulator. You know, where you just mix in a bowl, making food, chopping up things, you know, that kind of thing. And it turned out it was a Resident Evil 7 demo, so it was flipping terrifying. You sat there in this room and you got some radio going off, I think you hear some voices elsewhere. Things are scattering around behind you, so you're looking around going, oh my god, I don't know what's going on, and all that kind of thing. And yeah, it's an experience and a half, and I recommend absolutely everyone doing it. Now obviously I'm absolutely going to recommend download the Iron Man VR demo, because whew, that is probably the best one I played so far. It's absolutely incredible. Now obviously these are all demos. I'm telling you to all download these. You are going to want to actually play games as well. These demos are a good example of this. Now the games are kind of a given. You know, you got Doom VR, you got No Man's Sky, Skyrim. Moss is supposed to be very, very good. I haven't got around to playing that. I do have it though, and also Trover Saves the Universe. It's also supposed to be very, very funny if you like Rick and Morty anyway. Again, haven't got around to playing that yet myself, and I'm probably going to take a little while to get around to it. You know, so find the games that you want to play. Have a look into them. If they utilise the move controllers, yes. If they don't utilise move controllers, make sure you're okay with that. If you don't have the move controllers, they are expensive these days. So, you know, there are other games out there for you to use the headset for. Now, I do want to talk about experience demos, I suppose. You have a couple there, which is like Spider-Man, Homecoming VR, and Far From Home VR. But it's really cool. Essentially, you're standing on a rooftop and shooting some bottles out in your target system, using all your webhead stuff, and you just have a nice little experience for it as well. Same with the Far From Home demo. There's also other experiences as well, like film experiences. So you have things like Invasion, where you are I'm assuming a bunny, it looked down, you're kind of podgy, and another buddy's there, and then aliens come and attack the area you're in. And it's just a really fun, enjoyable 5 minutes. There is another film on VR as well to add to experience called Crow the Legend, which is a John Legend vehicle type film. I think he wrote the music for it and he won an award for it as well, which is no surprise. That man's got an EGOT. He's always winning awards. But it's about a rainbow coloured crow, and he's kind of bring like colour back to the world, and how he does that is by letting all his colour out, and that's why crows are black. It's basically how crows are becoming black. There's more subtext to that film as well. I would just fully recommend watching it yourselves and just checking it out. But then if you don't like kind of things like that as well, there's also musical experiences. So you can actually go through and find these free downloads, and you can go backstage to a concert, and you can experience a concert in a completely different area as you would do in a crowd, instead of being in a crowd. This is just really amazing stuff. My one for doing this though would be YouTube, because YouTube you can have roller coaster stuff, which is awesome. I was on the Rip Ride Rocket, I was on Hulk, what else did I do? I did some stuff, some of the rides in SeaWorld and all that kind of thing. It's just really good fun. But then you've also got the 3D videos as well that you've seen about. So like Gorilla's Saturn's Bars. It's got a 3D version, so you can just look behind you. So you've got Noodle in front of you, turn around, see what's actually there. And it's very cool, very an immersive experience. And I'd recommend YouTube as the app as well. Again, because you want to be able to use this very expensive piece of kit that you've got sat on your head as often as you can. So my PlayStation right now, PlayStation 4, has 3 games on it that are not VR related. That's it. Other than that, the hard drive is full of VR related stuff. I will have to delete some games to add some more to it. It just depends on how I feel on that one, I suppose. There are a couple of things that go wrong with PSVR, which I have already spoken about. Obviously, desyncing is not a good thing. But there's one thing that's a major problem that you can't really help, because you got the VR headset on and it gets hot in there. It gets really warm, so your glass is just going to start fogging up. Now, best way to stop that happening is making sure that you're in a warm room. That will stop that happening. But then you've also got anti-fog spray, which I would recommend getting. You know, spray it on the lens, stops all that fogging up, and you don't have to worry about it. You can just be warm in your warm little eye oven whilst you're playing it. I would fully recommend getting that, because sometimes it has a tendency to, or it's just the left lens that will go, so you can't see anything out your left eye, it's just a blur, or it's the right, or it's partial, or it's just a little bit here and there. So you're constantly having to like take it off, take yourself out of the experience, clean that up, pop back on, doing your best, or kind of leaving some air in, which again destroys the experience because you've got little bits of light just coming into these parts of your VR machine. I'm just pointing at my face now. Yeah, so it's one of those. So now I'd say this is a beginner's guide. This beginner's guide essentially is make sure you sync everything up, go through all of those settings, download everything you possibly can to see what this whole VR experience is like, and there's honestly tons of it on there. One thing that does come up quite regularly is the fact that people using VR sometimes feel very motion sickness. A lot of people stand up playing VR, other people sit down, it depends on the game. I found standing up for Iron Man was the best way to do it, but then playing Skyrim, just sit yourself down. Now if you are feeling sick, which may happen, take it off, rest up, maybe another hour or so before you play it again. You know, if you know what your motion sickness is like, it's kind of tailored to you at the same time, so you take it off when you need to. But don't let that ruin it, because you will pursue through it and your body will get used to the whole idea of what VR is, and eventually you can just play for hours and hours on end. I personally didn't feel any of that myself, but I don't get travel sick, so I don't really know what it feels like or anything like that. But my other half, she does. You know, she still played for a few hours before she started feeling a bit queasy, but it does happen to people, so just keep that in mind as well. Now, one thing I would say as well is when you do actually start playing and you're standing up and you're using wands and stuff and you're mucking about all that kind of thing, make sure your surrounding areas are completely clear, and get used to the idea of having your body facing the camera at all times. Because if you turn around, you're going to mess up syncs, mess up how the thing reads what you're doing. You might have a light blocking your blocked by your body, so it's not going to read what that's doing either. And get used to the whole idea of standing up as well, and being used to not on platforms. So I'll give you a good idea. So I was playing Rick and Morty, and at one point I went to look into a fridge. To do this, I actually ducked down, I got down closer, and my natural instinct was, there's a cabinet there, put your hand in that cabinet, support yourself. I went to do that, completely missed, and slammed my hand into a table, because it wasn't there. I didn't expect it to not be there at all, and it was very silly and very funny. But just practice yourself being around, make sure that you're focusing on the idea of you have to pull triggers to do stuff. What you see in front of you isn't actually there. Right guys, that's pretty much it for me today. I am going to talk about VR more often in the future, as well as Switch and Xbox and all that as well. I'm really starting to experiment with VR and having a bit of fun with it, so expect to see more on this subject. But other than that guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and do all the things we normally ask you to do. Look out for all of our new videos as well. You know, we have over 500, nearly 600 videos on our YouTube channel alone, and then we have thousands of articles going back years as well on our website. All the links, as usual, are down below. But guys, have yourself a great day and be nice to each other, yeah?